The trees are much smaller over here, but it's the same stand. The only thing different is that this stand was cut in twice, and this stand has not been cut in at all. Now that's profound. See, when we start, when we release a tree, it begins a process of just improving well beyond the years that we put into it. For example, we have a tree like this pignut hickory. If we've kept this tree, it's a lot bigger than counterparts over on this side of the trail. As this tree gets bigger, it increases the amount of wood that is recoverable more so every year than a counterpart that's half its size. So as this tree gets to be 18 inches in diameter, it's even growing faster and faster, and it's putting on more growth. So if we look at a period of, let's say, 60 years that we want to work with a stand, if we get those trees released early on, it's amazing how much they will grow. I have oak trees. Of course, I'm 1,000 years old, but I have oak trees that I was looking for. I would find an oak tree that was an inch in diameter, maybe. And at first, I would cut all the competition away from it. And I loved that tree, but it didn't do any good. Love doesn't go very far with trees. Anyway. As soon as I opened it up, the deer would get it. And if it was too big for them to eat, they just rubbed it to death. So that didn't work very good. So I began to look for my little oak trees, and I would cut off competition at 4 feet. And it worked. It was amazing. I mean, this tree began to thrive. And I have actually cut timber from oak trees that I released at an inch in diameter.
Yeah, but that was 100 years ago.
Yeah. Quiet, Dale. But it's amazing to me how fast trees can actually grow once you allow them their natural ability. So you're giving them more room, more crown, and every leaf on that tree is going to contribute to energy for that tree. And just that one act of cutting some competition or clipping that with loppers, just that one single act may make all the difference in that tree for the life of the tree. It's amazing. And I am impressed with how fast trees grow. And if that were, I mean, it's just so exciting. And I love this. All right, the other thing I want you to see here is that we have, I always like to consider what's happening with succession. As we started our work here, we were only interested in releasing trees. Choosing enough good trees to make it work and releasing these trees. All right, but when we, with succession, I want to know what's going to happen to this stand. Okay, if we look at in this particular area, probably most of the trees that were cut this last time were aspen. Aspen, I really like them. They are so important to the management of a forest. But we don't need them always. We have gone through enough succession that the aspen here can easily be replaced by the oak. The oak are well established. But notice the smallest trees in here are maples. And what's happening is the succession is moving beyond the aspen. The oaks is introduced. The oak are going to have the dominance for a period of time, and the succession would be that this would become a maple forest. Okay, so our future management of the stand is to decide whether we keep this as oak or allow it to become a maple stand. And that's the kind of questions that are fun to ask. It's more fun to get the answers, but
Why not leave them both?
you can leave them both for a time, but if you, in this stand, if you left this to its own devices, the oak will disappear eventually and be replaced by the maple, because the maple are the next step in succession. Now I want oak in here, so I'm going to have to cut some maple to make sure that I keep good oak stem.